Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're back with the regular old battle. This is one of my own battles. This is actually one of the battles I fought against Lore Master of Sotek in our Best of 5 series we fought the other day on Turret's channel. This is Game 1, Greenskins against the Warriors of Chaos, so definitely in for a very, very wild battle. Let's jump straight to the army compositions. For myself, of course, Azhag's leading the army here. He's got the Crown of Domination. Looking super fly there. If I can get a little zoom in on him. Got the glowing green eyes and everything. He's carrying Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna for that direct damage. He's of course also got Wog, and that's pretty much it. I did cut a lot of his other abilities just because they don't seem to be wildly useful in my opinion, but that's just me. As you guys have come to expect, we've got a front line of Gobos here with some chevrons to make them a little bit better in sustained melee. Backing them up, we've got 2 units of Biggins, 2 Black Orcs, and the Warlord's Boys for some additional armor sundering. We also got the Broken Tusk Mob on Overwatch here to support. We've also got 2 units of Squig Hoppers, one of them being the Durkit Squigs Regiment of Renown. Squig Hoppers are a big plus in this matchup and a lot of other matchups, being that they're immune to psychology, have armor-piercing anti-infantry as well as poison attacks, which means that would be good in a lot of different situations, particularly against armored Chaos Infantry, so I really like these guys in this matchup. Same thing with these guys over here. Well, I like these guys in pretty much any matchup. The Morgrim's Mangy Marauders are almost useful at any point in time. We've also got another unit of Goblin Wolf Rider Archers to help support them. That's it for my build. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lore Master of Sotek. He's got Chaos Lord up on a dragon. He's carrying quite a few interesting items here. He's got the Filth Mace, which gives him poison, 25% weapon damage, and causes terror, which isn't the most pertinent thing while he's up on his dragon, but still, you know, definitely very strong item. In addition, he's also carrying the Pendant of Slaanesh, which is a very good item. 24% speed and 44 melee attack. Makes him an absolute monster in melee. Of course, he's also got Deadly Onslaught, Standard Eye, and the Dragon Breath, as well as Foe Seeker. So in terms of infantry, he's got a pretty light infantry line, all things considered. We've got a couple of Marauders up front, 2 units of Forsaken, Chaos Warrior with Halberd, and an Aspiring Champion for support. He's also got a Lore of Deathcaster on the ground here. You can see he's got the Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna, as well as the Scroll of Shielding and the Forbidden Rod, which is increase the winds of magic at the expense of damaging yourself. So you can see we're kind of trading Spirit Leeches back and forth. Chaos Lord taking a Spirit Leech, and this Chaos Death Sorcerer is soon going to be casting Spirit Leech on Azhag himself. We've also got a unit of Chaos Knights with Lances and 1 unit of Marauder Horsemen with Throwing Axes, which are a good pick in pretty much any matchup. In addition, there's also this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and the unit of Poison Warhounds advancing over here. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for both builds. Let's go ahead and kick things into full gear and watch what happens. So first things first, obviously I have an artillery advantage, so I'm going to be sitting back, just firing away the Hammer of Gork at some of these units here. But we unfortunately did get caught on the back hoof here with these Goblin Wolf Rider Archers. The Mangy Marauders actually took a lot of damage in a melee engagement here and have been routed off, but we are going to be able to pull things back a little bit here. Chaos Knights, these are just regular Chaos Knights, no Lances here, but they are clashing with the Squig Hoppers, and you know, I had a little bit of a rough situation because, you know, these guys are on station protecting against the Shaggoth and these Hounds, so I didn't really have any resources to dedicate to killing these Chaos Knights with Lances, you know, so I had to press these squigs into service to do so. They're not exactly meant for this fight, but they'll do okay here. You can see they've done a little bit of armor-piercing damage, but what I am going to be able to do is, because they're quite a bit faster and they've applied a poison debuff to the Chaos Knights, I'm going to be able to pull away here and get close to this biggin for support. Meanwhile, we're going to be turning around and just countercharging with this unit of Night Goblins here into the tattered unit of Marauder Horsemen here, just hoping to finish them off in melee, and these Goblin Wolf Riders should be able to finish these guys off with, given how tattered they are, and there's just so many goblins here that it's tough for them to deal with it. Just trading more Spirit Leeches here, trying to obviously not get caught by that Chaos Lord in melee. He will definitely put a beat down on Azhag. But you can see the mainline engagement's about to go down, and we're chasing these Chaos Knights with Lances with the Squig Hoppers, and the Biggins are supporting, so we're also going to drop Azhag down into combat to try and get a quick terror out here. This is super dangerous because if I get hit by a Dragon Breath, I'm going to take a ton of damage. But you can see Lord Master Sotek is flying over, and he's going to be unleashing that Chaos Dragon Breath very, very shortly, I would think. Let's see. Azhag's taking a little bit of damage, nothing too crazy yet, but now it looks like he's coming in for that breath attack, and it is going to be doing some nasty damage to Azhag. Does kill a few of those Chaos Knights, but Azhag goes down to about 20% HP left, and he's really not happy with the situation, starting to waver. We were able to kill those Chaos Knights with lances, though, still dropping another Spirit Leech on this Chaos Lord, just relentlessly pursuing. We've got the Orc Biggins matched up on Forsaken here, all along the mainline fight. The Warriors of Chaos don't really have the best AP infantry, so they're really relying on their Dragon and the Shaggoth and all the specialty units to do the AP for them. Because they're not able to drop down into combat right away, my infantry line is definitely winning out here. I mean, these Marauders and the Aspiring Champions and everything are definitely suffering. You can see we've been able to beat one unit of Forsaken already with those Black Orcs. Meanwhile, the Shaggoth has been wrapped up pretty well by these Broken Tusk Mob and the Orc Biggins here. Between these two units, they should be able to bring the Shaggoth down. It's probably close to the same cost, if not maybe 100 points more expensive or so. But between the anti-large bonus and armor piercing of all these guys, I mean, obviously the Biggins don't have armor piercing per se, but they do have high base weapon strength and 13 AP, which is decent. But yeah, the Broken Tusk Mob and these Orc Biggins should be able to clean up this Dragon over Shaggoth with a relatively little issue. We've still got the Hammer of Gork online, firing away, applying that blind debuff, which unfortunately is hitting my own troops right now. But for those of you who don't remember, the Hammer of Gork actually applies a debuff called Blind, where gives minus 26 melee attack, minus 27 melee defense. So, you know, it's a little bit unfortunate targeting it at this Aspiring Champion, because it's not going to get the most hits, but we are going to get it retargeted over here. These guys have routed off this one unit of Biggins here, so still very, very close at this point. We were able to somewhat surround the Deathcaster with the Squig Hoppers, do quite a bit of damage to him, but we didn't quite finish him off. We were routed away, unfortunately. You can see I'm keeping Azhag well away from that Deathcaster and the Dragon because he's very, very low. One Spirit Leech would probably put him down. It may not kill him, but it would definitely rout him off the battlefield. Just trying to protect the Hammer of Gork here from this unit of Poison Warhounds. We've got some Gobos in here fighting, as well as Azhag, of course. Azhag's going to have to get back in the air, though, as soon as possible, because here comes the Chaos Dragon, and he is going to get caught up, unfortunately, on a few of these Hounds here, and almost gets killed doing an attack animation on one of these Hounds rather than getting back up in the air. But you can see the Dragon's coming in. He looks like to be doing a Dragon Breath, and we did kill that one Hound that was stuck up on him, but barely dodges as he gets back up into the air. That was probably one of the closest dodges I've ever had. He didn't take any damage there. If he had, he probably would have just straight up died, so that was really nice for me, and now I'm just going to be running the heck away. Meanwhile, this Deathcaster, you know, did pop the Forbidden Rod to help him regenerate some Winds of Magic, which it will do, but because he's so low on health, it's probably likely to kill him more than anything. And Lord Master of Sotek even said in the post-battle, while we were talking, he didn't realize how much damage this Forbidden Rod actually does, so when he popped it, he didn't think it was going to kill his Deathcaster. But you guys can see there's still quite a bit of the duration on this, as well as, you know, some enemy troops nearby. So let's see if this Deathcaster is able to weather the Forbidden Rod, or if he just suicides himself here. Let's see, he's down 73 hit points. Yeah, he's gonna die for sure. And he just falls over. So a little bit of a rough self-sacrifice there from the Chaos player is gonna put me back ahead on the balance of power for the first time, dodging the last Dragon Breath here. So no more Dragon Breaths from the Chaos Lord, and we should be able to just run around with Azhag with impunity and Spirit Leech him down. So I'm gonna be running out this way, just trying to help these Biggins push this Shaggoth off the map. And while we wrap up the rest of the Chaos Infantry here, you can see the Chaos Warriors with Halberds getting wrapped up by the Black Orcs and everything. So yeah, a little bit of a rough day for the Warriors of Chaos here. This is actually a matchup, I think, that's a very even either way. It can definitely go both ways, and if Sotek had been able to kill off Azhag at any point in this battle, you know, earlier on, it would have been really, really rough for me. The leadership would have been tough to hold together, but seeing as we're so far ahead now, I can charge in Azhag. He actually does fall, but he gets off a Spirit Leech. That's enough to rout off the leadership of the Chaos Lord, and so that's it. Well played to Lord Master of Sotek. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. Let's look at the army breakdown here. So For Sotek, a lot of these kill numbers are pretty well inflated on the front line because of Gobos. You can see 71, 63, 114, and 70 kills on these frontline infantry here, but granted, a lot of that is coming up against Gobos, which, I mean, obviously they're not the most high-value units in the world, but it turned out a little bit rough for him. The Black Orcs really didn't take a whole lot of damage, 64 and 69 kills respectively, and XP Chevron here. You know, the Biggins did okay. One of the units definitely did well in helping deal with that Shaggoth. Shaggoth himself got 68 kills and a Chevron, you know, dealing some damage on those Broken Tusk Mob and so on, but it ended up being a pretty good trade for me. Let's see what else. Squighoppers didn't really get used in their intended role, but they were able to kind of bog down those Chaos Knights and help deal with them, as well as doing a lot of damage to that Deathcaster, so I definitely would say that they paid for themselves. They just didn't really be used, you know, they weren't really used in the situation where they're meant to be. But, you know, still, that's one of the nice things about Squighoppers. They're kind of a good utility unit. That poison and AP makes them great for supporting a cavalry engagement, even though they're not really an anti-cavalry unit. You know, they can definitely help out in that situation, so let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything of note to talk about. The Chaos Dragon Lord didn't end up getting the most work done because he used most of his Dragon Breaths on Azhag. He used most of his time chasing Azhag around, too. If he'd been able to dedicate more time to helping out that frontline engagement, it may have turned out a little bit differently for him. He definitely had the AP to win here in his specialty troops. They just weren't able to get to that mainline engagement to support fast enough, so hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.